well, I'd heard some things, well, some of them in retrospect, I guess. I had heard that Wayne was sick and was having trouble, health-wise. Excuse me. But he was okay. He had been in the hospital for, I guess, a couple of weeks during the time that I was on the film. And but he was fine, and he was not. And they'd said also that there was a contretemps between Don Siegel, the director, and John Wayne. But it wasn't that wasn't happening when I was shooting during the two weeks I was on the film. And then I finished my major sequence with Duke, and they called me back to do another scene because I forget the exact reason, but there were some things that were not going to be in the film that had originally been planned. So I had another sequence with Harry Morgan in that film. So when I saw him again the first time, I should tell you that John Wayne, at the end of that sequence where he kicks me out the door, and he pushes my head down with a pistol in his hand, which he had in my mouth, which was a funny thing to play because I was mostly concentrating on not getting my teeth broken. And he pushed my head down and then kicked me down the front stairs where my stuntman and my stunt double. And when I saw him 2 weeks later for that next sequence I was talking about, he said, I only ever did that once before. And so he was kind of apologizing in his way. He was very, he asked me my politics at one point, and my politics was not exactly what his politics was. But I said, well, I don't really have politics, because I didn't want to get into a discussion of any kind like that with him. And he just kind of shrugged and smiled, and so he knew. And I've a couple of times in my life been in the position of thinking I wanted to defend John Wayne because he said a couple of awful things along the way. We've been quoted as saying that he was really kind of I thought, at least in person, a decent guy. And he had a lot of liberal friends, Paul Newman and who was the cinematographer? I can't think. Anyway, he listened to the other side. I don't know why I'm talking about this, except it's just on my mind because of the political atmosphere, that's taking place now.